We're tracking the investigation into a robbery at a Lexington home that police say led to a man being shot.
I would have been fighting too if he'd been inside the house.
A southern Kentucky man talks to us about surviving an explosion that tore apart his house with him inside.
Education has become one of the biggest issues in the race for Kentucky governor. Tonight, the three candidates talk to us about what they have planned for the state schools if elected.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A robbery at a home in Lexington turned violent this afternoon. Police say that one person ended up being shot, and tonight they're trying to track down one of the two robbers.
It happened at a home on Windy Knoll Drive. That's near the intersection of Man-O-War Boulevard and Armstrong Mill. Police say the robbery victims kept one of the suspects from getting away. Monique Blair is live with our top story at 6.
Well, Amber and Sam, Lexington police say this robbery and shooting was a targeted crime, and they say although one suspect is still on the loose, police do not believe neighbors should be on a heightened alert right now. Now, Lexington police say around 1:30 this afternoon, two people knocked on the door at a home on Windy Knoll Drive. There were 3 people inside that home, and they let the 2 suspects in. Police say at some point this turned into a robbery, and one man who was inside the home was shot in the lower back. 2 other people inside the home were then able to overpower one suspect, and they tied him up. That's when they were able to call 911. Once police got to the scene, the other suspect wasn't at the home. Police believe that suspect was the shooter. Now, I talked to one woman who says she is shocked because she knows the people who live at the home where this happened.
We knew them. They were young guys, and they're usually very quiet. They mowed my parents' lawn all summer, and for something like this to happen is very unfortunate. So they're definitely in our prayers.
Now, the man who was shot was taken to a local hospital, and his condition is not known at this time. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Lexington police have not released a description of the person they're looking for.
He tells us he's lucky to be alive. A Corbin man was inside his house over the weekend when an explosion destroyed it. He suffered some injuries, but he's now out of the hospital. And tonight he's talking to us about what he went through. Miranda Combs has a story new at 6.
The foundation of this home is practically gone, but it's the owner's faith that held him up.
Yeah, I'm still here. I got a purpose. He ain't through with me yet.
Arnold Stevens is still processing what happened Saturday afternoon.
Got out of the shower, starting to dry my hair off, and boom, a large explosion. Pretty loud. It shook the ground and shook the houses next door, they said. So.
And this is the result. His home now in pieces.
I didn't even realize it blowed the walls out when I come out of the bathroom to look.
Piles sitting at the corner of his property at 11th Street and Whitley Avenue in Corbin.
They said it must have been gas built up under the house in lines, and it blowed out from under the house. They said if it blowed inside the house, it would have been flattened already. So.
Fire officials told Stevens a gas leak under the house caused the explosion. He's staying with family now. The explosion that shook his home shook him too.
It was a nightmare. I know that. Something I won't never forget.
2 days later, neighbors are still stopping by to see the damage.
I sure do hate it.
And check on the man who lived here.
All I know, I thank God that he was there with me watching over me. He's the reason I'm here today. So.
In Corbin, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
What a close call. Stevens suffered some burns. He says the explosion was so bad the house was still shaking when firefighters arrived. New tonight, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission is asking for help as it investigates an unusual object found in a barn at Keeneland. The commission says the object was found yesterday in Keeneland Barn 21, which is the TCO2 testing barn. Investigators have not said what that object is, but they're asking anyone who knows anything about it to give them a call.
The Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents discussed security on campus today during a meeting. Since February, 2 threatening messages have been found on restroom walls on campus. The most recent forced classes to be canceled for a few days earlier this month. Police haven't made any arrests for that threat. EKU President Michael Benson said the university has now increased the number of uniformed officers on campus.
I can tell you today, walking around and last week, it's a safe campus, and the investigation is ongoing, and we hope we'll find who did this and make sure it doesn't happen again.
EKU leaders say they've received many tips in the case since offering a $10,000 reward. They're also asking students to be more aware on campus and report anything unusual. Tonight, we have learned the name of a woman killed while walking along a busy Jessamine County road. The coroner identified her as 33-year-old Amanda Markham of Middlesboro. Nicholasville police say about 5 this morning, Markham was walking in the median of US 27 and stepped into traffic when a car hit her. It happened less than a mile from the Catnip Hill Road intersection where another woman was killed in a crash last night.
A dangerous sight on a Lincoln County road this morning. Police say they arrested a man for driving a tractor trailer while drunk. The Houstonville police chief gave us this cruiser cam footage. He says the driver, Roman Samlot, was driving nearly 80 miles an hour along Highway 127. Police say Samlot refused to pull over for them, but the truck ran off the road in Casey County.
He followed him, lights and sirens on, for approximately 8 or 9 miles until the individual finally stopped. Upon stopping him, noticed he was intoxicated.
Police say Samlot didn't know his own name or where he was going. They say they found open containers of alcohol in the truck. He now faces multiple charges, including DUI and fleeing and evading police.
It has been another day of great fall weather across the Bluegrass, and overnight temperatures shouldn't be as chilly as this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look now at your forecast.
For many of us, it's been 3 straight mornings at or below the freezing mark. Goodbye growing season. Hello beautiful fall colors. Starting to see some of those colors that are showing up on our live sky cam. WKYT Weather Garden in the background, and some of the golds and reds now beginning to show up. Beautiful afternoon. Currently here at the station, 63 degrees. Winds are still coming at us from the south at around 9 miles an hour. Low humidity, and as the winds die down, quick drop through the 50s into the 40s as we go through the evening. Some of our sky cams across the entire region now showing beautiful sunny conditions as well as the sun gets ready to call it quits for the day. We're looking at Frankfort, Georgetown, Lexington, and Richmond. Everybody with a beautiful sunshiny sky. Nothing showing up on Defender. Don't expect a whole heck of a lot until we get into the weekend. Between now and then, it's an absolutely gorgeous fall week across Kentucky. Sunny skies continue. Great fall temperatures. And then we get to Saturday, and a cold front begins to crash our fall party. We'll let you know what that means for the forecast as we track that front into the Bluegrass State. But I'll come back here in about 10 minutes.
Changes could be coming to Kentucky schools that will affect everyone, from students to teachers to parents. Your taxpayer dollars for public education could be spent very differently depending on whom wins the race for governor. Mark Barber sat down with 3 candidates who could bring some major changes to Kentucky schools.
In 15 days, one of these 3 men will become Kentucky's next governor. They are at odds over nearly every aspect of our public education system. One of the biggest issues,
Is that a letter J?
the Head Start program. It allows 3- and 4-year-olds from families who qualify for government assistance to start school early. Democrat Jack Conway, who is leading the latest WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll, with Republican Matt Bevin close behind, plans to continue supporting the program.
The statistics show that for every $1 we invest in early childhood education, society reaps 7 in return. And that's one of the reasons I'm so focused on this. I want to make certain that we're doing right by our children who are in poverty at their tenderest ages. If we try to focus on that, we can make a big difference.
Bevin says he would divvy up the federal dollars for early childhood education between Head Start and successful alternatives to the more traditional model.
A child going through Head Start has been shown to, by the age of about 9 years old, have no advantage over a child who didn't go through Head Start. Every study, including by the government themselves, has shown the same. So the important thing for people to understand is that Head Start does not equal early childhood education.
Independent Drew Curtis is bringing up the rear of the pack with 7% of the vote.
Head Start or programs like it are good and they're effective, and it would be great to throw them more funding later, but certainly for the first year I don't see there's any way we can do anything with it. As much as I would like to, like I said, I mean, I'm a believer in it, but at the end of the day I'm also a deep pragmatist, and we don't have the money.
Another divisive education topic for the candidates, Common Core.
So far, it doesn't seem to be very effective. I think it has created more confusion for students and for teachers and for parents alike. It doesn't seem to be resulting in the kind of outcomes that we had wanted.
Bevan says he wants Kentucky to start using an education model that would set higher standards for students. Conway would stand by Common Core.
We've seen our indicators of college and career readiness go from 31% of the kids now to about 62% of the kids. That's a big leap. That's progress.
While the two frontrunners are duking it out over Kentucky's academic standards, Curtis says he's listening to what teachers have to say.
More teachers than not say that they like it, and I'm willing to go with whatever they decide. So I would take the advice of teachers over anything else.
The candidates all agree on one thing. College graduates are saddled with too much debt.
Honestly, I've looked at it. I do not have a solution for this one. I don't know how to fix it.
Bevan and Conway think the answer lies in helping students graduate with degrees that they would use.
We proposed something we call the Kentucky Plan Initiative. What it is a more aggressive approach for 11th and 12th graders to say, listen, you're about to make big financial decisions. Oh, by the way, Kentucky is in a real shortage of jobs, of workers for the jobs we have in advanced manufacturing. Are you willing to be trained for 2 or 3 years, work someplace for 5 years? That employer may partner with you to pay off your student debt. I mean, there are programs and things like that we can do.
We need to be smart about making sure that young people are told the truth about what kind of degrees to pursue, and that we start with like the FAME program. Toyota has done a great job of reaching right into high schools and bringing young people up with skills so that by the time they do get into the post-secondary world, they have skills to immediately get $50,000 and $60,000 a year jobs with upside from there.
Graduates of the University of Kentucky make an average of $40,000 a year. The National Association of Colleges and Employers says that's about $5,000 less than the national average. In one of the latest reports available from the American Legislative Exchange Council, Kentucky's education ranked 42nd in the nation. There is a lot of room for improvement in our schools. When the next governor takes office, they will have their work cut out for them. Mark Barber, WKYT.
Jack Conway and Matt Bevan are taking part in a debate Sunday night at 6 on the EKU campus. It will air live on WKYT. You can ask the candidates questions on Twitter using the hashtag KYDebate.
New tonight, the state has received another extension to bring Kentucky driver's licenses in compliance with a federal security law.
Under the Real ID Act, state-issued licenses have to meet federal standards. State leaders say to make that happen for Kentucky, all circuit clerks' offices would have to meet a greatly enhanced security standard. State leaders say right now they're in the process of doing that, but an earlier extension expired this month. So the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has given Kentucky another one-year extension to meet the requirements. For now, Kentucky driver's licenses can still be used for people to enter federal properties.
Fayette County health leaders say if you have not received a flu shot yet, now is the time to get one. The state has confirmed Kentucky's first 2 cases of the flu this season in Jefferson and Kenton counties. And the Fayette County Health Department expects the flu to be in the Lexington area soon.
Here we are midway through October, almost in November, and we haven't had any confirmed cases in Lexington. There have been a couple in the state. But not having any in Lexington is a bit unusual and something we expect to change any time now.
The Fayette County Health Department expects to give out 1,700 flu shots during its annual free flu shot clinic. It's Thursday afternoon from 4 until 7 at Consolidated Baptist Church on Russell Cave Road.